Hello and welcome to the Stephen Carlson Show. I'm Stephen Carlson. In this video, we're going to go over the top 5 credit cards for college students in 2020. I know. Some of you are already screaming at the monitors and writing nasty messages. How dare you encourage college students to get into debt, you evil capitalist! Okay, calm down. You're confusing building credit with getting into debt. I do not, and I repeat, do not encourage you to spend more money than what you have. The rule for smart credit card use is to only charge items to your credit card that you can afford to pay off at the end of the month. You should never carry a balance on your credit card. I cannot say that any more emphatically. You must never carry a balance on your credit card. Basically, the regular spending that you would usually pay cash or use your debit card for, smart financial ninjas will instead use a credit card. They will build reward points on the same everyday purchases. Some of the cards that I will go over today will give you between 1 to 10% cash back on all eligible purchases, but that is completely useless if you keep a balance on the card and pay 10 to 25 or more % on your interest. As long as you pay the full amount before the due date, you will pay 0 interest. And you still get to take advantage of all of the amazing reward programs these credit cards have to offer. You will also have the added benefit of building your credit worthiness, which will help you when you go to purchase your first home, lower your credit card insurance premium, and so much more. It may even improve your odds of getting a more lucrative job. Yes, that's right. Some industries will run a credit check on you during the interview phase. And if you have bad credit, that may be a disqualifying factor in hiring you. So now that we have cleared that up, as a first-time credit card holder, what should you be looking for? Most important is the first few cards that you have should have no annual fee. Remember, part of your credit card score is calculated on how long your credit history is. So it is best to keep your credit card open for as many years or decades as possible. Cards with high annual fees are hard to justify keeping open for 10, 15, 20 years. A card that has no annual fee is incredibly easy to keep open. You just charge your occasional gas on it. Now, before we get to the list, please hit the like and subscribe button. Doing so helps so much with the YouTube algorithm and helps to show this video to more and more people. Thanks. Now to the list. Number 5, the State Farm Bank Student Visa Credit Card. If you have State Farm insurance, this card has a pretty interesting deal for you. For every $1 you spend on your insurance payments, you'll get 3 points, up to $4,000 annually. You also earn 1 point for every $2 spent on all of the purchases. And this last part pretty much sucks, honestly, compared to some of the other cards on the list. But if you do have State Farm, that first promo is really awesome. You can redeem your points for gift cards at popular retailers, air travel, hotels, and even go back to your State Farm insurance bill. There are also many other student discounts provided by Visa. Number 4, the Citi Rewards Plus Student Card. This card has 0 annual fee and has a pretty decent reward program, including is an initial 2,500 point bonus for spending $500 within the first 3 months. After those 3 months, you will continue to earn 1 to 2 points per dollar spent. Of course, just make sure that the $500 that you spend in the first 3 months is on things you would have already purchased, like gas, paying for your cell phone bill, etc. Do not, and I mean do not, go to the store and spend $500 on useless junk you don't need just to get the 2,500 points. There is one downside to this card, and it's kind of one of the reasons why it's not higher up on the list. The Citi Rewards Plus Student Card requires that you have pretty good credit. Doesn't have to be excellent, but still pretty good to get approved. And most college students either have a limited or no credit history. You may want to bookmark this card, and you might open it up as your second or third card a couple months down the road. The student cards offered by Citi, well, they kind of suck. But at least this is a good way for you to establish an account with a bank like Citi, and then you can step up to some of their better programs that they have as your credit worthiness improves. Number 3, the Journey Student Rewards Card from Capital One. Earn 1% cash back on all of your purchases, and if you pay your bill on time, and come on, you should, they'll give you a bonus, bringing your cash back to 1.25% for the month. So since you're smart, of Of course, you're going to pay that off on time, and you're going to get 1.25% cash back on everything. Applying for this card is pretty easy, and most that apply are approved. Now for cards number 2 and number 1, they're actually tied. And it really depends on your situation, as one card might be slightly better than the other. The 2 cards that I'm talking about are offered by Discover, and they're called the Discover It Student Cashback Card and the Discover It Student Chrome Card. These cards are by far my favorite for those just starting to build their credit. The cashback card offers 5% cash back on everyday purchases in a rotating category, like grocery stores, restaurants, gas stations, select ride-sharing companies, and some online shopping. The downside to this 5% is that it is limited to specific categories and it's constantly rotating. So for one quarter, you might get dining, the next quarter it might be fuel, the next one it might be online purchases. Then all other purchases outside of that category gets 1% cash back automatically. So if you spend most of your money in specific categories and you can match the rotating basis of what Discover is offering, you get 5% back on those purchases. If you do not want to be limited to specific categories, you might be better off with the Student Chrome card. Yes, you lose the 5%, but what you lose there, you gain by doubling. You're getting 2% instead of 1% on all other purchases, all without having to keep track of silly categories. So whichever card you choose, Discover will double your rewards cash back for the first year. Plus, if you're a good student, you keep your GPA over 3.0, they'll give you an additional $20 statement credit each year for a maximum of 5 years while you're in school. Like all the other cards on this list, there are no annual fees. Unlike some of the others, they also give you a one-time forgiveness if you're late the very first time. But we know you'll never be late, right? Right? You can even monitor your FICO credit score free of charge within their online portal. On top of that, they give you 0% APR for the first 6 months. Then it's a variable interest rate starting about 19.49%. Of course, because you are never going to leave a balance on your card, you're never going to pay any interest anyways, so it doesn't matter. The real downside to this card is fewer merchants accept Discover Card. Most places take Visa, MasterCard. Sometimes it's more difficult to find somebody that accepts Discover. With the exception of this, it's still a great card. Of course, no matter which card you choose as your first credit card, you need to make sure that you follow all the requirements to maximize your reward points. Some cards require that they charge $3,000 within the first 3 months. Others don't. Just pay attention to the rules and you'll get all the reward points that you're entitled to. Of course, as I already said at the beginning of the video, only charge purchases on your credit card that you can afford to pay off at the end of each month. Do not carry a balance. Use your credit card responsibly, and after 3 months, you can request a credit limit increase on your first credit card. Then go apply for your second card with another bank. Repeating this process every 4 to 6 months, and you'll quickly see your credit score build to 750 plus. If you found this information useful, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. Thanks, see you next time.